Okay, let's unpack this. We're diving into a truly fascinating and beautifully intricate source today. Excerpts from Bilvamangala Thakura's Sri Krishna Karnamrita.
Right. And this isn't just, a dry text. It's really a poetic devotional work, basically a series of verses, and each one paints this incredibly vivid picture of Krishna.
So it's very visual, very sensory.
Exactly. What's compelling here is how the poet isn't just describing a figure, they're inviting us, inviting you, into a deep emotional experience.
Okay. Hi.
So our mission in this deep dive is really to pull out the most important nuggets of knowledge, the key insights from these lyrical descriptions.
To really get a feel for the poet's devotion.
Yes, and the captivating way this divine figure, Krishna, is portrayed.
Think of this as maybe your shortcut to truly understanding a devotional work that's just overflowing with surprising details and really rich, evocative language.
Yeah, get ready for some aha moments, hopefully.
Because this deep dive is sort of custom tailored for you, our curious listener, if you're ready to explore these nuances of devotion and, well, beauty. So we've set the stage a bit. Let's open the curtain now on the central figure, Krishna himself.
Okay.
The text doesn't just describe him, it almost, like you said, paints him in vivid detail, especially focusing on his youthful, adolescent beauty. What kind of picture does the poet create, and why is this focus on his physical form so crucial here?
Well, it's really quite remarkable how the author makes Krishna's appearance itself a source of profound spiritual ecstasy. I mean, visually, the verses just immerse you in his form.
How so? Give us some examples.
Okay, well, his hair, for instance, is very often adorned with a bright peacock plume. That's a recurring image.
Right.
And his feet, lotus-like feet, they're compared to desire trees.
Desire trees, what does that signify?
It means they're wish-fulfilling.
Oh.
Auspicious. It's not just decoration. It carries meaning for the devotees. His youthful look is described as completely carefree and embodying transcendental beatitude.
So a kind of pure, blissful state.
Exactly. A state of pure, blissful existence. It's not just simple aesthetics. It's really a vision of divine perfection.
Okay, so more than just looking good, what other visual details really stand out and reinforce that idea?
Well, his face, for example, is steeped in sweet beauty. It resembles a charming lotus. That comparison comes up again and again.
Lotus.
And his fresh youthfulness is described as bursting forth, like an embodiment of all effulgence.
Effulgence, like radiance.
Yeah, pure light radiance. His profound curling locks are delightful, especially with that peacock feather we mentioned.
Right.
He's even called the source of the god of love, and it says he's attained unchallenged dominion over love's sweetness.
Wow, okay. That's quite a statement.
It is. And his complexion is this distinctive dark bluish color with his beauty flowing like waves of nectar.
Or waves of nectar. That sounds almost overwhelming.
It's meant to be. And his eyes are particularly captivating. They're described as ballooning and long like lotus petals, incredibly charming. Really, every detail seems designed to just draw the devotee in.
That is an incredibly rich visual tapestry. It makes me wonder then, how does the poet use sound? Is the auditory impact as profound as the visual? What kind of sounds are we talking about?
Oh, the auditory details are just as potent, maybe even more so for some. The sound of his famous flute. That's a central recurring theme.
The flute, of course.
It's described as murmuring, nectarous, meaning, divinely sweet and creating rapture, pure ecstasy.
And this music affects people.
Profoundly. This flute music is so captivating. The text says it causes the garments of the gopis, the milkmaids who adore him, to actually loosen and fall.
Really? Just from the sound?
That's the imagery, yes. The sounds coming from his flute are just incredibly pleasing, like a symphony of devotion. And his voice, too, it's described as sweet, filled with honey. It completes this sort of auditory immersion.
Wow. It's almost like the poet wants you to experience Krishna with literally every sense. What about tactile things?
Yeah.
Or other sensory details that really immerse you?
You're right. No sense is left untouched. Desire tree flowers are depicted falling from his fingertips.
Oh, connecting back to the feet.
Yes. His lips are described as red, like bimba fruit. That's a vibrant red gourd, symbolizing this luscious, inviting sweetness, and they're filled with nectarous smiles.
Nectarous again. That word keeps coming up.
It does. It emphasizes that divine sweetness. His entire body is simply called delightful and very beautiful, and he's even described as an ocean of jubilation and a treasure of playfulness.
So it's not just static beauty, it's active, joyful.
Precisely. These aren't just physical descriptions. They describe a presence that is an experience in itself, radiating joy and pure delight to anyone who perceives him.
Okay, so after painting this really vibrant picture, the text seems to shift focus a bit to something maybe more subtle but incredibly powerful, the impact of Krishna's glances and his smiles.
Mm.
How do these seemingly simple expressions create such profound effects on the devotees? It seems like a lot rests on just a look.
It is kind of remarkable, isn't it, how these subtle expressions carry so much weight in this text. The verses show that these aren't just, physical gestures. They convey a deep, reciprocal love that profoundly affects the devotees.
Reciprocal, so it goes both ways.
Yes. For example, his dancing sidelong glances are so potent they cause Radha, who is Krishna's primary beloved in this tradition, to become languid with love.
Languid with love, just from a glance.
Just from a glance. And it's not just one way. His eyes are described as causing extreme thirst in Radha and her companions.
Thirst for him, presumably?
Yes, but fascinatingly, the text says they make him thirsty for them as well.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, it really highlights this mutual exchange. Krishna is equally worshipped by Radha's wistful glances. It signifies this profound reciprocal attention.
So it's a shared experience of devotion.
Exactly. His charming lotus-like face and those nectarous smiles we mentioned, they're so powerful they completely bind the devotee's mind. And his eyes, sometimes described as delightful and half-closed, they agitate the gopis, stir up these deep emotions.
Agitate. In a good way.
In the sense of stirring profound love and longing, yes. It's like a divine dance of reciprocal affection, where even just a glance can be utterly transformative.
That's fascinating. So the beauty itself is almost like a medium for spiritual connection. Which brings us to the effect Krishna's beauty and playfulness has on those who see him, especially the devotees. It's portrayed with such intense emotion. It feels like way more than just admiration.
Oh, absolutely. It feels like an overwhelming spiritual experience.
Right.
And if we connect this to the bigger picture, it really demonstrates the transformative power of divine love and beauty, as conceived in this tradition. The descriptions show this deep yearning and ecstatic response. It moves way beyond simple physical appreciation to a kind of spiritual intoxication.
And the author themselves seems caught up in this.
Deeply. You see the author's personal devotion woven throughout the text. The author says things like, "My mind is completely careful," meaning focused, and yearns for the transcendental fellowship of an eternal consort.
So it's a very direct, very personal connection the author is expressing. How does that intense yearning show up?
It's incredibly vivid. The author describes their own heart as being, on one hand, outwardly greedy for the poisonous meat of sense objects.
Meaning worldly distraction.
Exactly. Drawn to worldly, fleeting pleasures. But inwardly, powerfully, the heart is greedy for the beauty of Krishna.
Ah, that internal conflict.
Yes, and it highlights the intensity of their devotion. The author says their mind is bound by Krishna's beauty, and it burns with the pain of separation when Krishna isn't perceived or felt present.
Wow, burns with pain. Strong language.
Very strong. They declare, "Let him, the embodiment of all effulgence, forever shine within my heart." This isn't just a casual wish, it's a fervent prayer, a deep longing for constant divine presence.
And this profound impact, it isn't just limited to the author, right? You get the sense that it has a broader universal reach.
Absolutely. The author explicitly says, "I worship that dark bluish young boy and hopes for Krishna to forever shine within my heart." But it extends outwards.
How so?
While they find that their own mind attains blissful beatific bliss just by thinking of Krishna's lotus feet.
Just thinking about them.
Yes. And those feet are described as destroying the pride of whole clusters of lotuses, so more beautiful than the most beautiful natural thing. And they're highly esteemed for providing safety for the Lord's humble devotees.
So beauty and protection combined.
And the author states very clearly, "I worship that dark bluish young boy who brings liberation from birth and death." So there's a soteriological aspect too. Their eyes become restless to see Krishna, and a fascinating line says Krishna daily appears newer and newer, increasing in charm and elegance.
Newer and newer, so the devotion never gets stale.
That's the idea. It ensures the devotion never wanes because the object of devotion is eternally fresh and captivating.
That's a really powerful statement about, well, the inexhaustible nature of this divine beauty. And the text suggests this beauty offers universal solace and joy, too.
Exactly. It says Krishna relieves all afflictions. That's pretty universal. His playful beauty nourishes the whole universe.
Nourishes the whole universe. Big claim.
It is. His eyes are seen as the abode of infinite beauty. He makes the hearts of the fortunate gopis exhilarated, and he engages them in these playful verbal duels that filled him with joy.
So there's wit and interaction, too.
Yes, definitely. He's called the unchallenged king of those who are exquisitely beautiful. And the author, very humbly, seeks Krishna's mercy, asking for his charming sidelong glances to fall upon them.
Bringing it back to the glances.
Right, and expressing this profound dependence with those lines. If I have your blessings, what use are others? And conversely, if I'm without your blessings, what use are others?
Total reliance.
It's a complete surrender, yeah. Recognizing Krishna as the sole source of all good, all beauty, all joy in this worldview.
So, wrapping this up, what does this all mean? We've really taken a deep dive into this devotional poetry, exploring an incredibly vivid portrayal of Krishna's captivating beauty, his irresistible charm, and the profound transformative effect he has, especially on those who dedicate their hearts to him. It feels like a journey through exquisite detail and just overwhelming emotion. It really illustrates how divine beauty in this tradition can ignite and sustain that deep spiritual longing.
It really does. And maybe a final thought for you, the listener, to consider is, well, how might such detailed and impassioned contemplation engaging all the senses, all the emotions like we've discussed, how might that shape one's inner world? Perhaps even shape one's perception of beauty itself beyond the text. What does this intense focus tell us about the nature of devotion, where the divine isn't some abstract concept, but a living, breathing, profoundly beautiful presence?
Something to mull over.
Yeah, definitely something for you to mull or perhaps explore further on your own.